again, HUD Nation, and welcome to another episode of Heads Up Display.
We got more reviews to get to today, as well as some details on upcoming events, so let's get to it.
Hi guys, I'm Simon Parmley, and here's our thoughts on the new cartoon that's interesting to say the least. Rick and Morty tells the story of a psychopathic scientist, Rick, and his not-too-bright teenage grandson, Morty, going on chaotic and epic adventures to different worlds. Each episode pushes the boundaries of what shenanigans the two can possibly get into and gives audiences another show to binge watch. Laughs are plenty due to each voice actor's comedic performance and the unpredictable nature of the show. Continuity isn't an issue because the series always geared to stretch the bounds of ridiculousness and doesn't follow a strict plot. Much of the animation has been equated to The Simpsons, but Rick and Morty maintains its very own unique style and sets it apart from other adult cartoon shows. From the hilariously dysfunctional characters to the epic adventures they share, the audience will have something fun to watch about each episode to make them laugh. That's why we give Rick and Morty 7.5 Wubba Lubba Dub Dubs out of 10.
We did it, Morty! Now let's get out of here and destroy this whole universe!
Excuse me?
Hey guys, I'm James Greenhaw.
And I'm Ryan Ordmandy.
And we'll be talking about two films that released on the same exact day and are equally worth your time. Here's our reviews for Black Mass and Maze Runner: Scorch Trials.
Black Mass, starring Johnny Depp, follows the life of notorious South Boston criminal James Whitey Bulger as he becomes an informant for the FBI in order to take down the Italian mafia in the neighborhood. The cold, vicious nature that Depp brings to the table is simply chilling, and this movie is an impressive example of his ability to immerse himself in a role and play a character so convincingly that you forget that there is actually an actor under the costume and makeup. The film has an impressive lineup of actors, including Benedict Cumberbatch, Kevin Bacon, and Adam Scott. However, one could argue that the film focuses solely on the talents of one actor, while not capitalizing on the exploits of its other talented cast members. The cinematography in this film effectively crafts a cold, ominous lens that lets the audience peer at the underbelly of organized crime in a dangerous neighborhood. Every moment in the story is deliberate and well executed, showing the merits of good editing, and the musical score does its job, contributing to the scenes by being eerie and suspenseful, though not particularly memorable. While special effects are minimal, the use of blood and gore is realistic and is not in excess. All in all, this film gives refreshing news that the crime genre in film is not going away anytime soon. Black Mass receives a score of 8 slow claps out of 10.
You spilled the secret family recipe today. Maybe you spill a little something about me tomorrow.
As the sequel to last year's unexpectedly good Maze Runner film, many of the cast returns in Maze Runner: Scorch Trials, also known as the Game of Thrones Cameo Hour. In all seriousness, the Maze Runner series has surprised us yet again by bringing to the table a story of perseverance and sacrifice that really delivers. The boys and girls of the Glade continue to fight adversity at every turn, which is conveyed brilliantly by, again, surprisingly immersive cinematography, convincingly designed CGI creatures, and action sequences, and a varied but solid score. Despite this, the film's dialogue can be summarized as go, 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 let's go, 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 as for the most part the main crew of protagonists is running for their lives, and has to make it very clear to the audience how urgent it actually is. Even though the acting and the story can seem predictable at times, until the ending, which pretty much comes out of nowhere, it doesn't wear too thin. There are also plenty of shots of the varying scenery that really captures the attention of the audience. Maze Runner: Scorch Trials is a great film to watch if you're into compelling settings and movies, but might not be the best pick for story buffs. With that said, I really felt satisfied with the film walking out of the theater and can recommend it in good faith. Maze Runner: Scorch Trials receives a score of 6.8 Wickeds out of 10.
Hang on!
Hey guys, I'm Dan Balch.
And I'm Jacob Hicks, and we're wrapping up the review segment for 3 games that are all pretty enjoyable. Here's our reviews for Rocket League, Axiom Verge, and Destiny, the Taken King expansion. Rocket League is a fresh, simplistic game that puts you on the middle of a soccer pitch with a car and a giant soccer ball. The game is catered around multiplayer matchmaking, in which you earn skill points to rise through the ranks and constantly leaves you just wanting one more game. The graphics and sound are great for what the game is, a fast-paced, high-energy, competitive joyride. Replay value is very high, since it is an online multiplayer-focused game. Though the game is lacking in the story department, there are multiple stories of exciting moments that can be made because things of like a clutch flip goal that sends your car rocketing into the air. For what it's worth, Rocket League delivers an insanely fun, fast, and competitive game which has captured me and thousands of other games alike. We give Rocket League the score of 6.7 giant fezzes out of 10.
Fans of 2D Metroidvania games will most likely regard Axiom Verge as an enjoyable experience, mainly because it shares many of Metroid's gameplay conventions as well as its 8-bit graphical style. Due to these similarities, however, Axiom Verge may appear to be nothing more than an uninspired clone to some at first glance. However, it manages to subvert these expectations through the use of many variations from previous Metroidvania games, especially in regards to gameplay mechanics and navigation. The sound design complements the game's visuals, enhancing the feeling of being truly alone in a bizarre, fantastical environment, and immerses you further the deeper you delve into the world. Plot points are delivered sparsely, but often enough to give the player a sense of purpose and to serve as a refreshing interlude to the gameplay. Replay value is a bit lacking, since if the completion percentage is not high enough at the game's conclusion, the player will get the worst of the game's 2 endings, which adds several hours of backtracking to the game, depending on how thorough the player wishes to be. However, some may find that the game wears out its welcome by this point. Overall, Axiom Verge is a solid entry into the Metroidvania genre, and without a trace of a doubt, scores an 8.4 out of 10. Get it? Because Trace is the main character. Never mind, moving on.
Destiny's newest expansion, The Taken King, adds many things that have been absent in Destiny since launch, but doesn't fix any of the drawbacks from previous versions. The expansion finally provides an immersive, more epic, and entertaining soundtrack, and a strong vocal performance by Nolan North as the Ghost. Some drawbacks are that the new missions and story arcs get a bit repetitive, and the player might feel burnt out over the course of grinding for the new shiny legendary weapon. Graphic-wise, the game is average. The models of enemies are pretty satisfactory, and Destiny's skyboxes shine as brightly as before. As it stands, The Taken King is a step aside in the right direction in terms of the overall progression of the Destiny franchise. But overall, it fails to improve on those few nagging drawbacks of the series, and doesn't deliver all that unique of an experience. The Taken King receives a score of 6 Nolan bots out of 10.
Join us and become legend.
That's about it for this episode of HUD. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment on, and share our videos, as well as our Facebook fan page.
Also, Heads Up Display is participating in multiple campus-wide events, including creating a homecoming banner, TTU Bra Night, an event promoting breast cancer awareness, and a convention that will bring all of TTU gaming student organizations together in the Student Union building. Keep on the lookout for more details.
We're going to be coming at you with much more content in the coming weeks, like Let's Plays and a pen and paper role-playing game segment, so be sure and subscribe. For now, I'm Melissa Peden.
And I'm Caitlin Taylor, and this has been Heads Up Display.